Good afternoon, I'm Ken Smith. We're interrupting programming for a very important update on this incoming ice storm. We expect a wintry mix to start falling in just a few hours. And we have team coverage now to bring you the latest information and the effects already being felt. I want to get you updated with the very latest here at the 1:30 half hour, starting with the Buddhist monks making their way through Raleigh this morning and having lunch right now at Dix Park. The scheduled peace talk at lunch was scheduled due to the cold weather. Now soon they'll be headed to the state capitol where they will have a peace gathering that's slated to begin around 3:30. Well, let's get right to meteorologist Kat Campbell for the newest information about this ice storm and the timing of it. Kat.
We still have a couple of hours before it gets here if there's something that you need to get done in terms of preparations, but it's coming. The winter storm is approaching, already leading to some big impacts to our west. The mountains have reported flurries at times. We're not seeing anything here locally yet. We're not likely to see it move in until after sunset tonight. We start to see some impacts on the roads as we get towards 7, 8, 9 o'clock, but the roads really get bad tonight closer to 11 p.m. and later, and they remain quite dangerous into tomorrow morning. The freezing rain forecast hasn't changed much, about ½ an inch from the Triangle North and West, ¼ of an inch to ½ an inch for areas east of Raleigh. And as you get into Cumberland, Sampson, and Wayne counties, where there is a winter weather advisory instead of the winter storm warning, ¼ of an inch of freezing rain or less. Let's take a look at Futurecast along with the temperatures. Now, this model is the fastest with the arrival of our winter weather at 5 o'clock. I would say 7 to 9 p.m. would be the more likely arrival time of our first round of the wintry weather. In our northern counties, this may start as some snow and sleet, and in our southern counties, it starts as freezing rain. Anything that's falling, though, with these temperatures is sticking, especially when those temperatures get to 28 or lower. That is when the roads really become dangerous with this rain falling and freezing upon contact. That's going to be the case into tomorrow morning, freezing rain at 7 a.m. Once we get to lunchtime, perhaps a little bit of a lull, and then we turn to more freezing drizzle. As this happens and we see more of a lull in the precipitation, the warm air in the middle layers of the atmosphere is going to do its best to spread inland. And with that, you can see we're above freezing in Fayetteville, Goldsboro, Clinton, and Rocky Mount. We're going to be very close to the freezing mark here in Raleigh. However, we're not at a hard freeze. So this last batch of rain and freezing rain, with temperatures staying above the hard freeze threshold, may not stick as bad and accumulate as bad as the rest of the freezing rain that we see. It may even make things slushy on some of the roadways. So still dangerous for travel Monday morning, but that's something that we're watching that may help to lower some of the ice accumulation numbers. However, this is still going to be a significant ice storm in our area, and you should be preparing for that. High temperatures are near freezing today and tomorrow. By Monday, we're up to 38, so that'll help with some melting. But Monday night into Tuesday morning, it gets really cold, 12 degrees for the low, some single digits even possible. Thursday, there could be a couple of flurries, but we're not expecting a big winter storm out of that system. It's just a clipper system that'll be passing to our north, Ken.
So important to take this storm very seriously. Kat, thanks. Well, thousands of flights are canceled all across the country, including at RDU International, where dozens of flights are canceled. And that's where we find WRAL's Kirsten Clark monitoring the airport traffic for us. Kirsten?
Yeah, Ken, we've been seeing people still trickling into the airport this afternoon. You can see people checking in their bags here, but I'll have you come over. I've been checking FlightAware, and that number of cancellations here at RDU is up now to 72 canceled flights. I'll have you take a look at the boards here of arrivals and departures. You can see just a steady list of cancellations and delays. Now, a few hours ago, Southwest and United Airlines announced they are stopping flights between 3 and 4 p.m. today and will not operate flights at all tomorrow. We know RDU has been preparing for this winter storm by coating runways with special brine, and they have snow blowers and plows in place and crews ready to work long shifts throughout this winter weather. Now, just a few moments ago, I spoke with a group of line workers who flew here all the way from Puerto Rico to help with potential power outages from this winter storm. Take a listen to what they have to say.
It affects everybody, hazards, pedestrians, everybody. It's a hazard for everybody. So, if y'all can stay at your house, stay warm, don't go out. We're going to try to get the power back on.
Yeah, so they are prepared again all the way from Puerto Rico to help with potential power outages here in our area. Officials here at RDU say the goal here is to keep at least one commercial runway open as long as airlines want to fly. Again, that will all depend on the weather. But if you are coming to the airport today, just make sure you take a look at your flight status before you get here so you know what to expect. Live at RDU, Kirsten Clark, WRAL News.
Again, Southwest and United suspending operations later this afternoon and into tomorrow. If we hear from any other airlines, we'll be sure to let you know. Widespread power outages are expected because of this storm. Caroline Yaffa, our government reporter, is at the Duke Energy staging area at the Coastal Credit Union Music Park. Dozens of trucks are ready to go at a moment's notice, Caroline.
Yeah, as the storm is approaching, you can see behind me that there are contractors waiting to see where they're going to be sent once the storm hits. And while they're doing this, Governor Stein said this morning a federal emergency declaration was approved from the federal government, allowing North Carolina to access federal resources to help when the storm hits. The approval came in this morning after the governor requested the declaration last night. State leaders say they're taking the storm seriously, warning that ice accumulation heavier than snow could knock down trees and power lines, leading to widespread outages and hazardous travel. The state has already shipped more than 100 pallets of meals and drinking water, along with more than 700 cots and blankets. The Highway Patrol is ready to clear roads and respond to emergencies, and NCDOT crews are stocked with fuel and salt to operate around the clock.
Fellow North Carolinians, this is a serious storm. We are taking it seriously, and so should you. We are grateful for the partnership of the federal government and its quick approval of our request.
And as I keep mentioning, the governor is urging people to be prepared, stay informed, and to help loved ones who are vulnerable. Live in Raleigh, Caroline Yaffa, WRAL News.
Well, Caroline, thanks. Well, we'll have continuing coverage of the storm and the governor's briefings right here on WRAL and WRAL.com. Well, the Buddhist monks making their way through Raleigh this afternoon. They're at Dix Park right now having lunch. Here's a look at their route from Dix Park. They'll go through the state capitol. WRAL's Flynn Snyder was at the park when they arrived this afternoon for what was a very emotional moment for so many gathered.
The Buddhist monks arrived here at the All Faiths Chapel at Dix Park around noon this afternoon. We saw thousands lining the streets here at Dix Park, giving them flowers and other offerings as the monks are on day 91 of their walk for peace. They began their morning in Apex, made their way here to Dix Park. This is their lunch stop right now, and then we're told at around 2 o'clock the monks will reemerge from the chapel. They will then make their way over to the North Carolina State Capitol, where we are expecting a peace and gathering walk and more remarks there at the state capitol. Of course, this is all coming ahead of bitterly cold temperatures, many bundling up, braving the freezing temps to get a glimpse of the monks. Raleigh police warning of road closures, traffic in the area today in and around Raleigh, so just a heads up there. And they're also warning everybody about possible icy conditions as people are heading home after seeing the monks, as that winter weather is expected to arrive a little later this afternoon. Flynn Snyder, WRAL News, Raleigh.
Of course, we'll be back at the top of the hour with an update on the monks' journey to the state capitol and updates on the approaching icy storm. WRAL is your trusted source for the most updated and accurate information. We'll be with you throughout the day, walking you through this icy weather heading our way.
We now return you to regular programming.